Still the Amber and Johnny defamation trial. On the 1st of June 2022, the jury ruled in Johnny's favor when they found that Amber defamed Johnny in 3 separate statements in the Washington Post piece, and that Johnny defamed Amber with one statement his attorney made. The trial has been live streamed, offering us all unparalleled access to the darkest points of the relationship, a stark contrast when compared to the previous UK-based trial that saw Johnny lose his case against the Sun newspaper after they labeled him a wife beater, something ardent Johnny supporters and the actor himself are still contesting. While celebrity gossip got you covered on the latest news on Amber Heard and Johnny Depp defamation trial. Did Johnny and Amber both lose? The fans have been anxious to know who will really win on this defamation trial, and finally the much anticipated answer is here. It seems our obsession is like no other, we're hungry wolves when it comes to this story, in a way that's rarely witnessed in a world oversaturated with news. What, on paper, should be a trial setting out to answer a relatively straightforward question, did Amber Heard defame Johnny Depp, derailing his career and finances when she wrote an op-ed referring to herself as a public figure representing domestic abuse, has morphed into a furious, mudslinging, month-long soap opera, with the serious issue of abuse often sidelined by tales of drug taking, defecation, and personality disorder diagnosing. But the question is, does it really matter what verdict the jury delivers? From all indications, both Amber and Johnny got compensated, so technically they both lost and they both won. You want to know how? Amber was found liable of all 3 counts of defamation in her lawsuit with Johnny in June 2022. The jury ordered Amber to pay Johnny $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages for a total of $15 million. Johnny, for his part, was found liable of 1 count of defamation against Amber by the jury and was ordered to pay her $2 million in compensatory damages and $0 in punitive damages for a total of $2 million. Due to the cap on punitive damages under Virginia state law, Judge Penny Ascarate reduced Heard's punitive damages from $5 million to $350,000. After the $2 million in damages Johnny owes her, Amber will have to pay Johnny a total of $8.35 million. So they both won and they both lost. While Johnny was found liable of 1 count of defamation, he wasn't found liable for the other 2 statements made by Waldman. One statement was published in the Daily Mail on April 8, 2020. Amber Heard and her friends in the media used fake sexual violence allegations as both a sword and a shield depending on her needs. They have selected some of her sexual violence hoax facts as a sword, inflicting them on the public and Mr. Johnny. When the jury was asked if Amber had proven all elements of defamation, the answer was no. A second statement was published in the Daily Mail on April 27, 2020. We've reached the beginning of the end of Miss Amber's abuse hoax against Johnny Depp. When the jury was asked if Amber had proven all the elements of defamation for this statement, the answer was also no. In the end, the jury ordered Depp to pay Heard $2 million of compensatory damages and $0 of punitive damages. In case you want to know, compensatory damages are money awarded to a plaintiff to compensate for damages, injury, or another incurred loss. According to Investopedia, in civil court cases, compensatory damages are awarded where loss has occurred as a result of the negligence or unlawful conduct of another party, the site reports. Punitive damages, on the other hand, are legal recompense that the defendant found guilty of committing a wrong or offense is ordered to pay on top of compensatory damages, according to Investopedia. You'll be wondering what will happen to Amber next after Johnny Depp's verdict. Well, the truth is that Amber doesn't have $8.35 million to give Johnny Depp. She's worth $8 million. So Johnny would have no option than to have a money judgment against Amber, which he could collect on by levying against most of her assets. Whether she could declare bankruptcy for a large portion of the verdict would in large part depend on what assets and liabilities she has. Mark Breyer, who is an Arizona-based trial and personal injury lawyer, explained on a TikTok prior to Amber and Johnny's verdict that Amber may have to file for bankruptcy if she cannot pay the damages she owes Johnny. You can't get blood from a turnip, Breyer said. That's the reality. We don't have debtor's prison anymore, so what's gonna happen is that Johnny would go after all the money she had. She would probably file for bankruptcy, but certain things would be protected in bankruptcy. But the reality is that's the problem with laws where people aren't required to have insurance. Attorney Sandra Spurgeon of Spurgeon Law Group in Lexington, Kentucky, told CBS News after the verdict that it's a serious deal if Amber can't pay Johnny the damages she owes him. For an individual who doesn't have the ability to pay the judgment and no ability to post the bond, then there's a real issue if the winning party intends to execute the judgment, Spurgeon said. Spurgeon told CBS News that she predicts that Amber's lawyer will try to appeal the verdict in the hopes of a more favorable judgment and to reduce the payment. Another option is for Amber to post a bond for $8.35 million in damages, which may not be feasible. The question is if she says, "Look, I don't have it. It's not there, you can look in my bank accounts, then we can talk about things like garnishing her wages," CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson told the site. That's not an unusual situation where somebody says, "I don't have it, I can't fulfill this," and so I certainly think that because she has earning potential, part of her wages could be garnished as a result. CBS News explained that if Amber was to file for bankruptcy, that would only eliminate the $8 million in compensatory damages, but she'd still have to pay the $350,000 in punitive damages, which generally can't be discharged in a bankruptcy. Spurgeon also noted that Johnny could choose not to execute the judgment and waive the monetary damages, which would free Amber from her financial obligations. "He's in the driver's seat right now," she said. Now, let's have a recap of Johnny and Amber's defamation trial. In any case, Amber filed to dismiss Johnny's case April 2019, offering new and horrific details about the alleged abuse in the process. According to Amber, Johnny, under the influence of drugs and alcohol, "We called that version of Johnny the monster," she said in the filing, "would beat her, choke her, and at times rip chunks of her scalp from her head while pulling her hair. I remember being afraid that Johnny might not know when to stop," she wrote of one alleged assault, "and that he might kill me." The case wasn't dismissed, and Amber countersued for $100 million in August 2020, saying Johnny's accusations about her making the whole thing up and that she had been painting on her bruises, for example for the publicity, were intended to hurt her reputation. Though the Washington Post isn't named in the lawsuit, it's printed in Springfield, Virginia, which is also where the online servers live. The trial therefore opened on April 11th at the Fairfax County Courthouse, where Judge Penny Azcarate has already barred fans from camping overnight. Per The Guardian, Amber lawyers may invoke a Virginia law that protects people from litigation when they speak with third parties about matters of public concern that would be protected under the First Amendment. Witnesses on Amber's side are expected to include Ellen Barkin, an ex-girlfriend of Johnny who was previously testified that he once threw a wine bottle at her. Johnny reportedly plans to call Paul Bettany, the actor he texted about burning Amber and then some. On April 9th, just before the trial began, Amber posted a message to her fans on Instagram saying that she would be offline for the next several weeks to focus on the trial. In her post, Amber defended her op-ed, noting, "I never named Johnny, rather I wrote about the price women pay for speaking out against men in power. I continue to pay that price," she wrote. She added that she has always maintained a love for Johnny and said, "It brings me great pain to have to live out these details of our past life together in front of the world." If she didn't mention his name, why didn't she come out clear to tell him that she wasn't referring to him? In opening statements, Johnny's lawyers said that Amber wrongfully presented herself as the face of the Me Too movement, the virtuous representative of innocent women across the country and the world who have truly suffered abuse, and that her false allegations had a significant impact on Mr. Johnny's family and his ability to work in the profession he loved. Amber's case was that of clout chasing gone wrong. Now she's left with a huge sum of money to pay Johnny. You can drop your comments in the section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos. Thanks.